At the heart of the European continent at the Baltic Sea coast with a total area of 312,680 square kilometers in the Eastern Europe is a home to many great thinkers, clergymen, and scientists. We have Pope John Paul II, Marie Curie, and Nicholas Copernicus. We call them Polish, not the thing that makes our nails or shoes shiny, but the very people who were born and seasoned with Soviet history alongside the blended Baltic, Balkan, and Slavic flavors. It's Poland. But more than the blend of history, culture, and people in Poland, there's more to it. In this video, you'll know the hows and why Poland could be the next regional superpower in Europe or possibly worldwide. We are reminded of George Friedman, a notable geopolitical author on international affairs who published the book The Next 100 Years. He wrote, Eastern Europe will become the most dynamic region of Europe. As Russia collapses, the Eastern European countries will extend their influence and power to the East. Unbelievably believable, and it is making sense now. His prediction of Poland ascending as the regional superpower in Europe throughout the book is highly emphasizing the value of strategic relations. What does he mean by it? We go back to Poland's independence from Russia in 1918 and the fall of communism in the country back in 1989. Since the 90s, Poland has transformed their economy from being centrally controlled to adopting the market economy. After World War II, reliance on their agricultural resources was still true in the Polish economy, but the effect of communist rulers' control on the economy, we can only imagine big factories, massive manufacturing, and bossy bureaucracy affecting the pricing and production levels with a 10% decrease. During this time, Poland was also distant from the international economy after the territorial changes where a big chunk of land was given to the Soviet Union. Social unrest, or people showing their dissent, was common, and trading was also hard for the Polish economy. So, how did Poland bounce back? Magic? No. Shortcuts? Absolutely not. Once again, strategic relations. First, they have had impressive economic cooperation with Western European countries like Germany and the UK since the 90s when they were pursuing an economic liberalization policy, not to mention its close relationship and alliance with NATO and USA since 1999. With this, Poland was able to slowly affiliate itself to the international economy and to their goal of liberalizing their economy free from control after the war and the Communist Party fell. In 2020, Poland outplaced Italy and became Germany's fifth largest trading partner. Poland now has a whopping 5,415 companies backed by German investments. The main products traded are motor parts, vehicle seats, batteries, and electric cars. What do you think about the numbers this year? Certainly on the rise. Also in 2021, the exports of Poland to the US for their gas turbines and furniture peaked at 10.2% as an annualized rate. There's more. Based on the present data from World Integrated Trade Solution, Poland is the second top exporter to China with 14.80% in partner share. The three key sectors, which are agriculture, manufacturing, and energy, have massively contributed to the real GDP growth of 0.3% annually according to the International Monetary Fund. Not to mention the real deal that Poland has been introducing to the rest of the European countries, making us realize that we've got the brains and the gears to create cars. So why not roll up our sleeves and give it a shot by creating them? Poland did not stop from exporting finished cars, but manufacturing in the automotive industry has accounted for 11.1% of the country's sum production since 2020. They have expanded their exportation of batteries, electric cars, and engines across Europe, and the world. Drawing a ton of foreign investment for the automotive industry, Poland's economy has massively grown with a 5.14% increase in GDP per capita as compared to Russia's 2.26% over the last 5 years according to GeoRank. Naturally, Poland also has got a fair share of natural goodies like lead, zinc, and copper. Seems like Poland is rich, amazingly rich, with natural resources as well. Poland's charting a bold path towards strengthening its economic cooperation with allies. Not just that, but also their military strength. Signed last 2022, Poland President Andrzej Sebastian Duda signed a bill allowing their government to spend 3% of its GDP on their defenses equipment and machines. Now, this is what we call proper strategy allocation for preparation for what may come. In the same year, Poland donated their T-72 tanks to Ukraine and obtained 116 Abrams tanks, which are characterized by their deadly firepower, survivability like no other, and prompt control. Poland prepares, and in the millennial way of saying it, Poland is devouring. It's never impossible to picture out a Poland that is gearing up both economically and militarily by building strong alliances to boost its military process. We should not only label this bold move as a resistance against Russia. It's now time to understand that having strategic relations with the US, NATO, and other Western European countries and its strategic economic liberalization policies have kick-started Poland's way to flex its regional power and capacities through cooperation and harmonious relations with other allies. Alliances among European countries such as Intermarium, which was proven to be ineffective during the post-war era, is also something that Poland is eyeing to establish or join once again. But we ask, how can we solidify Intermarium, a geopolitical project in the 21st century? When we try to picture a group of nations dedicated to protecting each other from Russian invasion threats, the formation of Intermarium is needed. But what can Poland and others learn from its ineffectiveness before? We can't afford to repeat mistakes in the past. Instead of getting tangled in internal matters, we need to come together in the face of common global dangers. To make this work, the entire post-Soviet European sphere needs to learn how to stand together. When differences are set aside and cooperation is given priority, only can a modern Intermarium be formed once again. The future looks promising for Poland. The accounts of economic development and military strengthening may not be enough factors to consider when playing the question of, is Poland the next regional superpower? But Poland is already a big player in Europe. Just like any fall, there's a rise of something new. Can it then fulfill what Friedman forecasted over 100 years surpassing the US? Maybe far from that. But possibly, like a polished shining, Poland is that one radiant country continually on the rise of economic and political progression. People uplifting people and countries uplifting others across borders, we take a shot at the uplifting story of Poland's rise.